Check it. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I think we are going to get this rolling. Technical difficulties with the audio. Let me reset my timer because I'm going to fix that in screen. So give me 1 minute. Reset this. And there we go. All right. What's up, everyone? Sorry about that. Was having audio difficulties. This will be edited post stream. Let me just check the chat. What's going on? What's up, everyone? Hope everyone can hear me now. If you've been in the Discord, and I'm gonna, I can see the screen. If you've been in the Discord, I've begun a process of thinking about business in a different way, consistently, like over the last few weeks. As well, I've been thinking about music because I am a producer, I am an MC, and while I've been in the business for a long time, I've also realized there's fundamental flaws in it, the way that it's worked, right? There's a lot of ass kissing, and that's with every business or any job or anything that you're dealing with. You always seem to have to kiss ass to get ahead, and it's not really based off of your productivity. It's not based off the merit of your work, and it's almost as if no matter where you go or no matter where you are quote unquote employed at, because even as an artist, we don't understand that we're employed, right? The advances are nothing more than loans. Those loans have to be recouped, and then there's contracts, and then you got to read your contract to really figure out what's the game and how levied against you is it. A big way of doing that is Confessions of a Record Producer. Was a good book back in the day. It proved that contracts and reading contracts are important. And when you understand that contracts are important, then you just got to realize then where are all the contracts? How many contracts are we dealing with? How deep are the contracts? How do I get in control of contracts? All right, how do I get in control of contracts on contracts? All right, well, I have to become a corporation. Or at least I got to start becoming a business, right? To write off things, because the biggest contract is tax. It's not a law, it's just a contract. They contractually find ways to make you pay it. Ask all the people that have had to pay taxes when they thought they could bypass taxes, right? So we got to understand that we're dealing with contracts, and some of them are going to screw us. But the biggest thing is that we're also going into a programmable web, and we're talking also about smart contracts, right? We're talking about a decentralized infrastructure. We're talking about applications at scale. We're talking about new businesses that are going to be levied that are going to destroy the old architecture. Blockchain will be a blockchain phone, right? And it's not going to be piggybacking off that old architecture because it's going to be too fast, doing too much, and that old architecture can't keep up, regardless of how anybody feels about it. It happened the last time. When internet came, everybody was like, what's this internet thing? Internet's stupid. But the current music industry is stupid as well. What is a radio station? A radio station is a way for you to hear an artist. They play it all day, and you're able to get people to listen to you. But think about that in the context of you as the artist, not as the consumer or the businesses that the radio station is actually trying to sell to. Because the only reason that the artist is really there is they're a loss leader. How much are the labels getting paying out to be able to put ads on these radios? They bypass payola by dealing with ads, and I can put ads out and advertising. I can pay for ads. I just got to make them in a format. So that format will then go on any place that you want. So couldn't you then put those same ads on YouTube? Right? Put an advertising budget to that. So then how do you get an advertising budget? you then need some type of financing. So part of why you see what I do with crypto is the understanding of what the music business is. At the end of the day, they're an investment house. They hold on to your catalog as collateral, and you have to buy out these contracts that they tie you into, that for the most part, 90 something percent of the industry can never get out of and can never repay, because it's sinking debt on top of sinking debt, while they're making percentages on the back end that you had no privy to. You only have privy to what the album makes, not to what the album's collateral makes. So if you're going to use my assets, if I understand that basically my assets are tied to banks or to funds, to fund managers, then I teach everyone to be their own fund manager, you know, through what we talk about in I did open it, didn't I? Didn't I? Didn't I? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I actually open those windows, because I went my browser went to close happy and closed out all of my work. Yep, that's exactly what it did. Give me 1 moment. I need to open it up again, because it did it again. Right before I get ready to do my show, it closes all of my windows. So I think I got a glitch in my robot that I need to fix. Righto. Here we go. Gotcha. Okay. So here in CryptoPlunder, again, intro to crypto bots, as well as the intro to sentiment charting. Those two things allow you to get the robots we have running up. Here's the Classroom bot right here, which we got to work on today, because this wasn't positioned right from yesterday's video, and we're getting a trade, but for some reason this is not. I was too busy getting happy about the ETH. I never even set up my grid steps properly, the grid levels properly, nothing. I was just so happy to be able to purchase ETH that we need to reset this robot so that it actually trades in the right way. This is why you have to set your bots proper. But regardless, this is what helps us get there, and it helps get you percentages. And if you think about, if I'm able to take my capital, put it in a service. Again, I use CD Baby. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get paid by them. But the fact is that because I use CD Baby, I get royalties, right? Those royalties end up making me percentages. I get paid out to PayPal. PayPal connects to Coinbase. Coinbase earns your percentages, right? So there is your entire process of how you fund your music business. You take the interest that you earn when you get enough of it, you take that and you float that into advertising. Or put that into crypto to put it into other ventures that allow you to put your merchandise into other venues to earn income. It doesn't always have to be about Spotify, Apple, and all the other places, right? Or TikTok, right? The big thing is whether or not my music can hit TikTok. And now I'm looking at my distributor sideways. I'm talking to CD Baby. I'm looking at you sideways, like, why don't I see any royalties from my stuff on on TikTok? Why can't I see my music on TikTok? Why can't I use my music on TikTok? Right? But you say I can get access to it. Do I gotta look for another distributor? And that question alone, because I'm not the type to sit there and say, okay, well, I'm gonna keep asking you to give me. I need you to grow faster. I need them to be on blockchain. Like, are you serious that y'all not even there yet? So maybe I gotta look at you sideways. Maybe you're aging. That began the hunt, right? began my hunt. Like, now that I know how to make my own financing on my own money, and then I'm gonna go in world in the next few weeks and start focusing on how to get products made and how do I get my music into, like, what games can play music, right? I'm also gonna get all that written out. I'm gonna start writing up, drafting up basically strategies of attack for virtual worlds. I'm gonna start putting that on ToxicThoughts. I'll still do what I'm doing with the bots and talking inside the Discord, but it's time to actually lay out physical strategies, and I need to see people actually taking courses. Like, I need to see people are getting through certain things so that I can really move on to other strategies, because like I said, I'm walking people into business models in a selfless and selfish manner. Because some of y'all are gonna pick up on it, some of y'all are gonna do it, and then good. That means I don't have to do it and I can leverage it. Or you get in position because I'm getting ready to scale, and you're in position to capitalize and be part of what can be marketed in our Thor system. Again, we're gonna be putting products out and distributing them everywhere. So it's not just about being on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube, right? Those are great. That's surface level ish, but that's also Web 2.0. We understand Web 3 is coming, so I'm preparing the infrastructure for that, which means what coins are going to be the infrastructure. Okay, what are cross chains? What's the databases? How do we hook APIs up? None of that's going to change. The fact that we got to build decentralized data apps is in the real world right now. I'm just looking for cheaper ways to do it. And if you're telling me blockchain gives me that, great. How do I make that happen? Who's going to be number one, number two, number three? I might have to invest in 10 things for one of them to pop, right? 9 out of 10 businesses fail, right? So I might have to invest in 10 to find the one that's actually functional. It's the same thing I had to do when I was looking for PHP. We're looking for some type of software that would work inside my Dreamweaver at the time. And then Dreamweaver actually had a few coding languages. It had ASP, it had Cold Fusion, and it had PHP. And of course, just JavaScript and the regular HTML. So I started working with all of them, and I started looking at what the coding did and how they worked. And I was like, the only one that will seem the easiest was PHP. So I started working with that, and even programming it felt easy. And I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. I can actually program by hand if I need to. I get it. This code's going to win. Then when I figured out programming is really hard. And you can't do it by yourself, really, to be successful as an application. Not an application that you're going to have 1,000 people use. That's going to get hacked easy. So I need really not to focus on the software. I need to focus on the actual content management system. This is a thought process for how I walked into web development. Now, as a media person years ago, on one of the videos I put out over here, one of my last videos, I literally say, building a media empire isn't easy, because the social media model isn't working, because there's still gatekeepers that can keep you out. And especially what I saw with Facebook, advertising, you can't get any organic reach. They're cutting out organic reach. Even Google, right? SEO. It's harder and harder, and they're making everything needs to be private. Because what we want to do is, when we privatize the data, we can make you pay more for it. You don't know what your keywords are unless you're paying for the keywords that are successful. I can give you kind of averages, but now I'm going to really lock it behind all these other things. And as these gardens, the internet that was once so free, that felt like it was the Wild West and you could everything, there was so much possibility, now has none. There's no openings. And doesn't that feel the same in the music business? You see, when I'm explaining tech, at the same time, I'm explaining the music business. I'm explaining the consolidation of the industry I was already seeing. How free it used to be the 70s. Then corporate structures came in and locked it all up, and all creative freedom got stagnant, and even revolutionary mind states of the 80s got destroyed to monetary capitalism. Let's go out here and get flossy. When we all are broke financially, if you're looking at the infrastructure, I'm looking at the cash. I'm keeping it real simple. Like, let's look at these numbers, right? Because, you could be on the corner and the one guy that's telling you, yeah, I got all the money, and he's, the dude that's making all the money, but then you're noticing that, his hustle's not as good as it used to be. He still thinks he's the big shot on the block, right? But and you can see who really is making moves, but he can't see it because his own ego's too blind. See, the same thought process we see when we're walking the corners is the same process that's in the boardrooms. Sad but true. But the thing is most of these are punks. And I say that in the fact that they're not aggressive with their business hustle. Their strategies are typically for the 1 to 2 year mark, but they don't even in their life think of a 5 to 10 year strat. So how can you in your personal life be able to, if you can't manage money in your personal life, how can you manage it at scale of a business? If you can't even manage it at the low end? How can you watch the pockets of this big-ass organization or a country? Look at the spending habits of the people that you put in office. Look at what they say and look at what they do. I got no affiliations with none. I don't like none of them. I don't like the contracts, and I don't like the lobbies that they represent. In a few minutes, everything's going to be real transparent. I mean, that's just what comes with this tech. Who they vote for, what their stances are. AI being able to see every audible thing you put out and transcript it into verbal cues to be able to be processed for AI and for sentiment analysis to find out if you're in consensus with the algorithm's movements or not. And you get more love from the SEO that way, right? To be able to make more money, you've got to make sure the algorithm likes you. So if I only have to worry about that in the first place, I then bring up the music industry. Why do I need it? What do you really offer me? During the pandemic, the reason why the screen that I have up, and let me throw this picture in here. I never do this before the show, but my bots, I don't get time for my bots, and I need to spend more time getting them ready. The reason why I have this image up is because during Rona, when the world couldn't do anything, DJs were able to come up with a way to not only keep people vibing, keep the mental states good, but to make people remember what the feeling was to just have a feeling rather than to just be broadcast to be in a moment of a feeling, to just feel good, to just hear something that had a message, to just feel good. When we listen to the music that we actually listen to, we're programmed. It's music programming. And we don't deal with that fact. We don't deal with the fact that we're being programmed consistently. But the difference now becomes in a, I won't say free-for-all, because this won't be a free-for-all, and corporate structures are locking in and entrenching to put things in place to be able to lock down the blockchain as they lock down the internet. But of course, like with everything, they don't know what it is. Too busy screaming that it's gold, silver, platinum, whatever the hell. It's a commodity, it's a stock, it's a this, it's a that. And everybody's running in this like it's a stock. And nobody's understanding that at the core of this is that you're able to buy into technology, period. If you like a piece of code, it has open source programmers who are getting paid because they have a token that does a specific thing, that fixes a particular problem, and that software fixes the problem, earns, and they're selling it, and you're getting dividends, and the company's all wrapped up into an NFT, DAO, whatever. Do you see how the business now changes? Software companies start, grow, and you have equity in their growth. These are all software becoming decentralized organizations. I will remind you in the video that I created yesterday. If you watch where the spirit's going, you kind of watch where the spirit's going, right? I talk about the fact that we're getting hustled. I tell you that they need to shut the hell up because they don't know what the hell they're saying, but, you know, it is what it is. I tell you that, you know, you can't trust the banking system. I tell you that, you know, there was no jobs for you. Everything was bullish. There was no jobs for the jobless and the kids growing. Everybody getting out of college for years, there was no jobs. That the entire thing was a Ponzi scheme. Then, of course, we get the FUD that brings the market down because we're worrying about what people are saying still. You know, what I said about shut the... Then, you know, we have to deal with the bear. Then we have SEC regulations and what happened with the last time we had a cycle. Then we see the banks are starting to entrench while they're buying in silence. Then I'm talking about data is more important than anything else. Start working on your applications. Do you really need the DAO? Right? You got to have a decentralized the new organization that are making these new applications using that old, a new database or structure to build businesses on. I'm now saying, do you really need a record label? Because it's not an organization, a record industry or a record label is not an industry or an organization or a company that has a set of workflows, processes that happen, that can have its own business, ideals, opportunities, constitutions, and be able to set those contracts up to make their own damn money? Type ting. I don't think we understand the strength of technology moving down a notch. Businesses in the 80s, their competitive advantage was having a PC inside their office and putting Microsoft Word on it. Competitive edge. In the media industry, a guy named Steve Jobs gets fired, right? He goes to another company working on these things for computers that are dealing with the graphics industry, and this thing called Pixar is born. Because hardware and software being used for business necessities. Hey, I have a business problem. I need to be able to render my cartoons faster. The old way is dumb, antiquated, and is not moving. Nobody wants to do anything. They don't want to do this technology. Let's come up with it ourselves, figure it out, and then charge them for the hardware later. That got Steve Jobs back in the game. And then immediately he's taking over Apple, because now he can start rolling out business grade graphic desktop machines. And this little known company called Adobe comes along, which has Photoshop, and all you need is that, and you're a graphic designer out of school. And once you hack school is nothing more than having software. That's your school hack. Then once you realize you just need to go to YouTube and put how to learn whatever piece of software it is, and then it's now just subscriptions, because now it's not the price of entry with software. Oh, okay, I can't afford the whole $70-something for Adobe, but Photoshop is $19 a month. So let me use Photoshop. I'll start designing stuff for people. You know, all I have to do is a couple CD covers at $50 a month. Bang, I got some cash flow to try to get that other stuff. And when I can do the video stuff, well, you know what? Hold on. Before I can do video, I need a PC, right? I need a better machine. So let me keep doing my graphic stuff till I get enough money to get me the PC and pay for a few months of the software I need for my video stuff. So then I can at least, for like, let me get enough for 6 months. You know what? Let me just buy the year. So let me get enough money in my photos work to get enough for a whole year and then buy the whole contract out for a year. And now I just have to recoup that one price again. But now I got a whole year to do it. Do you see how you can walk yourself into money? Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but most of the time is, what do you want to do? Then how do you put it to work? Now, before, that was where you had to stop. You had to keep getting clients, keep getting clients, keep getting clients, maybe make a name. Hopefully you can get into other things. Hope, right? No. Now, video games are going to be open sourced soon. The infrastructure for gaming is about to be distributed soon. So gaming platforms, what happens when Twitch becomes a decentralized platform? What happens when a Twitch or the stream version of whatever stream system, right? Whatever, like the next Xbox competitor is a decentralized software that anybody can license their games within it. And then anybody can sponsor to get the games built out. And if they don't like the fact that the game's not getting developed the way they want it to get developed, they could just move their money to other games, pulling funding away from the developers that aren't developing fast enough or developing good software. You don't think that that's going to come with this? Like, I'm just waiting. I'm making sure I get into software now. How do I create in-game assets? How do I create assets out of world? Because I want my in-world assets to keep circulating the name of my core business, Toxic Hustle. Because my core business will be selling multiple things like music to musicians, music to producers, music to MCs like me, music to singers who want to sing on tracks and want to submit them in, but they got to buy the beat first and submit that through a system. Nah, you're going to invest in yourself if you want to work. I'm going to be hunting for the dopest MCs to come work with me. I'm going to be looking for the dopest producers to work with me. And I can put my own shit in there. And then we can distribute it with automation systems and push that into any social platform or on any network system that's connected to anything that needs an upload or to input text. Like, it doesn't matter if it's web-based. We can control every single thing with automation. Anywhere, anything. So now it's just a matter of how do we automate a music industry. So let me look at my time because I know we have it, but I want to make sure that I'm keeping abreast of it. Good. I'm running good. I'm running well. Hold on. Let me just make this a small box so I can keep it kind of all the way up. Can I keep this on top? Is there any way to do that? No. All right. Let me not waste any more time. Damn. Did I just do that? Did I just do that? Yes, I did. Good. Got it still. All right. So what we're going to talk about is what brought about some of that thought process you heard there led me to ask the question to Google, because I've been training. I train my actual browser. And I've been training it in decentralized stuff you see over a course of time, what I read, what I share with my Google News, where I click on. That trains your algorithm. I'm very consistent on not clicking everything just because I see a title, right? So I began going through and I searched for decentralized music distribution. And of course, then I look down here and I see eMusic. That's a brand. I used to make money with them through CD Baby and other venues. So I see that they're actually branching out to do their own blockchain. So in the Discord, right, I left some links. Said not recommending. I found this company, Audius. I'm still doing due diligence on it, still doing some research, but I wanted to kind of at least show it to you, right? So, freedom to share and listen, giving everyone the freedom to distribute, monetize, and stream unstoppable audio. So, that to me is interesting, right? Looking for our music player, so then you're gonna have a music player, cool. You know, I like it. It's on blockchain governance platform, has an audio token. There seems to be APIs involved. So this really seems cool. The thing, more than 200,000 tracks already, seemingly has some good numbers. As far as what another article I'll get into later. Another thing that I saw. I don't know if they're gonna show it right now. Yeah, this is the developers. They have a developer section so that you can actually code with them. There were, I believe, some people associated. If you go to the team, no, it wasn't there. Protocol. I had seen somewhere, and I think it might be token. Was it here or was it someplace else? Audio circulating supply. Yeah, I'm interested in it. I'm going to look more into it. I thought I saw some names associated with this, but it doesn't look like it's on the page anymore. Or it was for somebody else. I should have took a screenshot. At least I thought I did. Hold on, let me just quickly look in the Discord. Yeah, this screen was different, right? The one as you scroll down, hold on. Go up, go back to the home page. Scroll down. That part's gone now. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so you can go into the dashboard. Streaming service, fans, artists. And I've heard about this a lot, not from here, but a lot of services that are trying to do the old way. I don't know what listeners get out of it. I don't know if listeners are going to go directly here. These are things we got to think about. Like, are listeners actually here, or is it just a bunch of musicians listening to a bunch of musicians? We already know that by itself, it never works out for us. If listeners are not there first, we're not, us just circulating around each other, trying to just build an industry like that, doesn't tend to blow up. What was Napster? A bunch of regular people just sharing music. The consumers were sharing music and it blew the heck up. What was MySpace? A bunch of consumers sharing music together. Then some artists started sharing, the consumers who were also artists could share their music, and that was working. And then artists were sharing their music and blowing up, but then the industry came in and everything crumbles, right? Same thing with everything else. So again, is this an artist-based thing? Like, hey, we as artists think this is gonna work, and maybe it does. I don't know. But it says here from an old article that it was like 3 million monthly subscribers. I'm also looking at other. I think it was eMusic actually. Hold on, let me see if it was eMusic that had the names I saw, because it might have been them. I'm hoping I didn't do a screenshot for the wrong thing. No, I didn't. No, that was there. It's no longer there anymore. So, but I thought I saw names for something that somebody was associated with. Hmm. I'll have to look into it. There was an article, or there was a business model that a big tuber and a big producer was associated with on the blockchain space. And let's see. And this is another article. And then I talked about e-music. Yeah, so I put everything in the Discord already. Some of the notes that I have, like I said, this is the article. And in that article, you can see that there's certain places that were old ones. Again, I'm going to be digging deeper into these as well, trying to find out if some of these are still in play or not. But the biggest thing that we need to think about, and I'm going to try to start talking to CD Baby about this, because they don't really understand they're in place to be a huge disruptor if they did this. And it's really anybody, hold on, it's not just them, it's really the signature technology, right? It's signature technology, copyright technology. And I don't want to do copyrights for copyright's sake, because I think that, trying to just lock down music, or just trying to monetize music like everything has to be about money, is just greed. I think that you can make your revenue in the margins. There's people that are going to buy things in other places if you find better ways to make money with your music, in ways that it's not just the listening of it earns. It's okay, you could give it away for free. What if you could create a business model by giving it away for free? You could still make money. Even if it was microtransactions, but you could give it away for free and still make money. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a future thing, or if the smart contract music and digital players all going into this smart contract music phase, like a digital music software service that is so cheap it blows Spotify out. It's using blockchain on the back end. Like, that's what we need to find, right? And again, that's what Toxic Thoughts is about. Toxic Thoughts is about thinking about, can we get a blockchain Spotify? Let's do that right now. Hold on. Let's do that. Let's do that thought process. Blockchain Spotify. Who's going to be the blockchain of Spotify? Media chain. Huh? 2017. So is Spotify low-key using blockchain to be able to cut down its streaming costs by using all of our machines as piggyback ways to leverage blockchain without leveraging blockchain? Huh? And then being able to get all those savings, they're just giving it to their investors. Are they raising? I mean, they'll give you a little bit of royalties, a little bit of royalties, a little bit of royalties. But are they really giving you anything? So 17 top blockchain music companies you should know of. All right, let's check it out. I might put timelines on this to lock this down, because we do got 16 minutes, but I just wanted to speed search, and then we'll get into the news, right? Did Napster kill the music industry? Yes, I believe it. Oh, these guys are still there. Blockchain, decentralized, media chain. What did we just see, right? This is a company saying that this is what we should know. In 27, this company gets bought out by Spotify. So we now got to look up. So now you have one of your research topics, right? I'll dig deeper later down. I'll dig deeper later today, and probably throughout the week. I'm going to try to make notes on companies that I'm exploring. But again, who's storing digitally the media? How can we get into not even just virtual worlds? Like, how does our media get used? Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, the distribution company can't just be about Like, are they going to be our distribution companies, or are we going to be our own? I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I'm actually asking. Right? That's the question we're going to have to deal with. Do we really need, if we have automation and we can place our music and we just have to come up with the workflow of securing our music into places, and we can build a machine, a Raspberry Pi, connect that to the web, and then just fill our data to that machine and automate the submission of our data in a strategic format, then you could put distribution as a service, right? Then do you really need the do I really need CD Baby? If I'm thinking blockchain, do I need them if they're still on the internet trying to stream to regular venues? Could I become my own Spotify? Or could I submit my music to multiple Spotifys of the future that are just going to take over as an app for people to just digest music, and they don't even realize they're earning for all their listens or whatever, because some weird way, by listening to, holy crap, okay, hold on, if we can find a consensus model like a pay per view or a consensus per view or a consensus per listen, right? Some way that you can verify that a person audibly heard something, that they listen, in their listening and doing something can earn, like, the act of listening and maybe even watching lyrics, or I don't know. Let me change my screen because it looks like my data is slowing up. Okay, my data came back. So, okay, media chain, right? Ujo, yeah, I heard of them before. I've actually talked to them a couple times. I didn't understand what they were doing, and it just didn't make sense to me at the time. I'll look at them again, see if they're any further. Have seen that. Haven't looked into it. Music streaming, digital payment platform that uses blockchain to fairly pay artists, blah, 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 blah. Ethereum, gas fees. Right now I'm looking past Ethereum businesses until Ethereum gets until we figure out whether or not there's not going to be any gas fees. And if they are, what protocols are going to use to get past that? So are they using anything else? So I'll have to look at that to see how are they bypassing, or if are they smart enough to bypass, or are they just hedging all their bets on Ethereum? Or are they doing any cross-chain anything? Like, we have to understand that if you're smarter than the businesses you want to invest in, like, if you understand this from a business perspective, like, I understand if I'm going to work with Ethereum, I have to worry about gas. Gas is no different than me worrying about how I'm paying for my hosting fees with Amazon. So I don't want to pay a bunch of fees if I'm going to blockchain. It shouldn't cost me more money. Or I'll just stay where I'm at. I want more functionality and I need it cheaper. If I'm not going to get more functionality and get it cheaper, then what's the sense of it? I'll wait till technology gets it cheaper. And I'll use whatever's cheap today. Right now, I can get on Amazon pretty cheap and get a dedicated server pretty cheap. I can start building an application and I can get it to a point, maybe 200 people a month. I'm working on scaling that to maybe 500 with tweaking how the software works. And then scaling that to maybe 1,000, 2,000 by decoupling it from a content management system and going with a workflow or automation based business model that's scalable, because now it's process driven, not system driven. Processes or compartmentalizing your code, modular code or modular programming theory is always the best way to do it. It's scalable. So I'm going to do a modular. So is there a way to do that with these platforms? 200 members. I don't know. That sounds... Musicoin, have heard of them. We'll have to look. I don't know. Haven't heard of them. So again, you can see that there's some articles that's leading you down this path. Media Chain gets acquired, so they probably buried it. Let's check, right? Let's actually check. Is Media Chain still even a thing, right? Did they just buy it to bury the tech? Spotify, Media Chain, right? There we go. Media Chain IO, we know that's it. Welcome. Uniting information, unlocking value, sparking innovation. So they've gone technical. They're talking about their technology. It hasn't been updated since 2017, meaning that when they were acquired, basically what happened? Spotify buried the tech. GitHub, Media Chain IO, the technology. Some of this universe manipulation engine upgraded was in 2020, 2017. You don't see no development, right? No 2021. No 2021. So they buried the tech. So this is what I mean by the fear that these companies have. And why I believe we have to begin to think of who's going to be the Spotify. That could be an app. Who's going to be a decentralized music app that lets musicians of all types. Like, do you know how many artists right now aren't under contract anymore? Who have access, who want beats, by the way. How many are just looking for great music, and if they could just make great music and there's a platform where they could easily control their revenue stream, how much more good music will be made, that you've released the spigot and the faucet and the funnel of the music industry and decoupled it. If you can take your own royalties and flip them into even an interest-bearing account, like let's even say you put it into anything on Coinbase, right? Link in the description. The reason why I keep going here is because I want musicians to repetitiveness. It's about repetitiveness. And I don't think that people really understand that you can put money in a place and even look at this. The 6% here, I just noticed something, is APR, not APY. I'm already I'm all in this right now. I didn't even realize that. That's even better. See, there's new things I learn every day. I didn't even catch that. But you get APYs. Where in your bank are you getting any APYs? And if you're earning interest, and then you have your robots, right? Like, let me show you something. Again, why I talk about the robots over, because I don't really think y'all get it. This is the robot we put $1,000 to. The market took a dip. We haven't recovered from that dip. But has the money recovered a little bit? As we've earned 33%, we've earned 3.47%, and it's been running less than a week. I've got some tweaks I got to do to the bot, which I'll have to do later in another video. Because like I said, I'm going to short burst these things now. But if you look at this, look. The fact is that we have not had a bad day or week when the bots trade. And then over the long term, if it sits sideways, which is what we deal with the winter situation of crypto winter, you could still earn. And this is not even the full, this is our low risk portfolio. This is our high risk portfolio. All right, I'm going to refresh it so you see, and it's in the link. Link is in the description. This is our high risk portfolio. I have a new trade that we're just doing all over at this other exchange, right? just a new exchange, just to see if we can earn some percentages, just to try it, see what's there. And while we have some money sitting there, I don't like money sitting. And then, but look at the percentage on average, and then look at how long this is. This is a week. These are all pretty much less than a week, and this one is 19%. On an average, I really care about this. This is what I care about mostly, is average daily. How much are my tickers averaging a day? As long as it's over 0.50, or as long as it's over 0.5%, I'm happy. I even have to fix this. It fell out of range because the market dipped. But I caught this whole run up. Look how long it's been running. It ran, it played sideways, it's come down. I got to move the damn thing down. All right, so proof is in the pudding that if you can earn your interest, why do you really need them? And if you don't do that, you still have this, right? So then we're still looking at these guys sideways. The regular record industry. So I'm beginning to do my research. You can see I'm clicking through. That's how I found Audius. I'm still going through. I still have a lot of articles to go through, but I'm heading down the path because we understand crypto winter is coming, which now I need to get into my news and stuff. And we're going to get through the rest of this, right? So I told you we're not going to do a fast recovery. We're going to do a staggered recovery. I said that already. We're going to just be building the hash rate back up. That means we're going to get more spread, a lot more decentralization. The problems that they have with the energy, because it's being spread into new markets, new sectors, they're not going to have that problem. They're going to stop all that BSing, all right? Curve is still going up for the energy consumption of Bitcoin. So we know miners are still going online. Bitcoin is still hashing. Fear index seems to be becoming a little bit more fearful, right? We were getting back up, but people are getting more fearful. Last month we were greedy. People are now scared. Of course they are. Let's look at the addresses. I'm going to go ahead and get this set. Boom. All right. If we look on our wallets that have over 10,000 Bitcoin, we now still see the signaling of moving of money. I'm not going to say drops anymore because we don't know where the money is moving to. Now we need to worry about, not worry, now we need to find out if this money is moving to ETH, Cardano, something else. But money is moving out of Bitcoin, but it's not affecting Bitcoin in the least, right? Bitcoin's still playing a sideways dippage. I'll look at the actual news, but I don't see any huge red alerts for myself because of the other issues that are going on. Not issues, the other news we have, which is that more and more money has been going into Ethereum and getting locked on contract. And you're getting, like I just saw, you saw that APR. If I'm getting 6%, is Bitcoin earning me any percentages? Is sitting in my wallet? Nope. Ethereum is getting 6%. And yeah, if I look at this, it's refreshing right now, but it just looks like we got it on the, if we're looking at the 4-hour chart, yeah, hold on, go to the day. How are we looking for the day? I mean, we are down, but it's nothing that I'm going to freak around about. Are we at a monthly level? No. We're at a weekly level, the same weekly level we've been playing around with the last couple days, right? Let's look at how we're looking as far as the legs on this thing. We're stretching out a little bit further. We're getting more data, which gives us more support. More support means that when this bounces back out to do its breakout above this, we're going to shoot to the 90 to the 100,000 zone, because as we have a halvening here and we have this very short window, look at what the halvening looks like with the same timeline, right? Look how short this is. Look how long this is. We still have this run up to do. We just had this, maybe this dip. Where is this? No, we had this dip. We need to get to this dip, which is September. And right around August and all that, we're going to have that shoot up. So we're just getting started the same way. It's going to play exactly the same. For the most part, we're hoping. If not, we fine. We got crypto winter we're planning for. And if it does want to play sideways all the way, we'll play sideways all the way. We already played a dip. We can keep playing sideways for a while, and if it dips again, we'll play that dip down again and play sideways a while, and when it runs up, we'll play that all the way down to the next dip to play it all the way back up. Robots hedge your bet long term, and this is not a short man's game. This is a long game. This is a marathon, not a sprint. This timeline is a marathon of data. And this is the history of how this thing plays. Long timelines of broken run-ups and data. All right, I'm gonna throw another. I'm still not done, so we're gonna do it's a slightly extension on this because I'm not finished yet. Especially since we had the earlier issue. So let me just keep going. If we look at the markets, let's go ahead and hit refresh on the markets. I look at the 24-hour. You see that we do have some red over the 7-day average. We have a lot of greens and some red. Like right now, again, it's sideways. Things are dumb, and we also have stupid FUD, right? Dumb Elon stuff. I have set this up now so I can actually just get right to my significant search. I already have it. I'm just going to hit it for today. Make sure that we are on Saturday. There we go. Right, so our significant information for today is that we're still sitting on Ethereum, June, July dates. Right, we're still working on some June, July for Ethereums. VeChain, looking to see some news. I don't have any major. I might end up putting some more on this one to start trading, start looking at volatility. You trade volatility with your bots. So that's why I look for news on these things. I'm going to stop being so elitist on certain coins as long as they're in exchanges that my bots can play in. I'll hedge my bet on earning on the outside of the trade, not playing on the inside of it. So if you're dealing with things that are not to your liking, but the bot will trade it on the outside on an exchange that you feel your bot already works on. So if this ever gets joined and it's there, you know what? I'll trade on the outside of that. I'll trade on the outside with the volatility of it. I will trade outside of that. And then when it wants to fire down and act stupid, I can immediately cancel my stuff out, or I've already made the interest on the backside of that, not on playing the coin. I'm not going to play on the inside of none of this anymore. That's what you don't need to for any coin. If you have bots, your mind state changes. I don't care how long it takes to get there. I'm earning interest with every coin I like, right? I don't just buy a coin. If you look at what we have, even in our high risk, that's, Theta is a video play. I really need video in my business. For audio, I need video. I just can't keep playing music. I need to be on YouTube with music. Or I need to be other places with music that I can get. If you tell me I can put stuff on other video channels and get paid in a coin and it appreciate, but my stuff gets plays and all that stuff in their vectors and their worlds, that's a virtual world for me. Virtual worlds don't just mean, and I also got to think about that, because my tech, I think in tech, and I don't think, people don't all think the same way I do, right? I believe everything physically is digitally explained. That you can figure it out in a digital construct. For instance, right? For instance, if you take MySpace, if you were around for that, if I put something on somebody's MySpace page, like a, hey, how you doing? Or thanks for the ad, what I'm doing is I am broadcasting my face there on their channel. Every time their friends were seeing something from me, all of a sudden, and I'm saying something like, thanks for for listening to my music today and responding. Every time I followed through or followed up, all of my follow-ups Well, that kept growing my channel. Now, what I did was there was a bot that was able for me to scale up communication. I just treated my bot, and I even have one on my computer now. I just treat my bots as, I just have to figure out how to scale up messaging. And most of these bots that are dumb that we're now buying into are not doing it right. Like, I really want them to be, I want communication to feel more real. And if I just want to say a quick message, I should be able to just broadcast it to an individual. Hey, I got a message where? Oh, let me say that real fast. Boom, let me broadcast it back. It goes to that channel. How can I get all my data from everywhere people are talking to me, and how do I aggregate that? Like, if I'm getting too much in one channel and I can't talk to 100 people and respond to 100 individual messages, well, then I say, well, I'm going to go live and we can all talk there. Let's put it all in a live then, right? So you have to just figure out how you change your media strategy. And then from that live, what else am I offering that potentially can be beneficial not only for that individual? How do I offer value? And then if that value offers is time, well, then how do I, because my time is not to say time is money, but I do have to pay bills, right? Or anybody has to pay bills. So how do you work that into your business model where you're still helpful, but your time is used well? Well, for me, it's I can create my education stuff as I'm working on now. I'll record them privately. I'll get them up, put them online, and people will be able to take those courses. Then you'll just pay for the courses, or pay a full membership to get an all-you-can-eat access. Simple, right? I keep that fee low because I can work at scale. Now I just need to work on the infrastructure for my software that allows me to be part of this new business model, because I don't want to work on the old one where I now need $10,000 to get my business off the ground, because I still need that much hardware to start scaling it. No, I want to start being able to work in scale from the actual infrastructure end. And if I can be part of that hardware, which I've been waiting for years, is like, why can't you put servers in people's homes and let people utilize their energy to help my business? Like, or hey, put some storage in your home for me, and I can offer you credits for every time that I'm able to earn. I need storage. I need video stream space. Like, now these technologies are coming out. That's the infrastructure and the hookup for your new media businesses. You mean to tell me I can do live streams from broadcasts from a whole infrastructure that YouTube can't stop me? And then you mean that I can start shoring up my data? So, like, think about it this way, right? Big thing is in our Discord, right? I say our because because MG has basically opened up a world for us to have our own world. And he calls us tribe and tells us that we are tribe. So then I'm like, okay, if we're tribe, then, these tribal leaders need to get paid. But tribal leaders can't get paid until the whole community has an economy. And since we really don't have an economy, well, then how can tribal leaders get paid? Because then how do we then give roses while they're breathing? Well, look, his data, his shows, at any given time, YouTube can shut them all the hell down. Well, how do we then download all of the stuff that he has out and keep it for prosperity and make sure it gets somewhere that he can still get paid for that information and content still being out there? And how many other places can his content be that can still offer value? Right? That's the goal of this. What happens when Hulu becomes a blockchain service? Then is an easy app shell to the Android market, and you can have it on Android TV. Now, are you not in the home market? What happens when there's a block stream radio? Radio by the people for the people. And now all of a sudden you have pirate radio all over again. And the shows that do the best and get the highest ratings are the ones that actually have the highest ratings. All of their content is ratings in all of their virtual venues. Virtual venues. I'm going to go back to how I made how I got to be a musician and get on ASCAP was nothing more than getting my name, my artist name, on a website called mp3.com. And then ASCAP said that was a venue. That was a virtual venue. We've been so cute and clamorous and not seeing it. Do you understand that even MG website, having other artists would have been considered a venue? So then what happens if we could then get something like his website on like everybody that's using his samples and everybody that's using it in music and everybody, like, how can we now have a valid validation for how much revenue it is working with somebody like him? How can we be our own Nielsen ratings? Like, Nielsen ratings is nothing more than data and analytics, right? On which quote unquote media venues are getting the most streams, plays, whatever. That may be television, how many people watch prime time, how many people on this, like, in hip hop channels or the Southeast region or the West or the East or the Northeast region, where they could chop up everything into billable subject matter. And that's all we are. Billable subject matter. Well, we're no longer in a position to have to continue to just be sheeple. We're always going to be considered that. And that's cool for them, so long as you can make sure that you give unto Caesar and get your own digits out of this situation. So on the news, I didn't really catch anything new. So I'm going to let our mini AI that we've already kind of pre-programmed kind of see if there's anything new there. Here are the next big altcoins and airdrops. So we do have some airdrops that are coming. I don't really care about those unless they're dealing with data. All right. Norton crypto mining. We already talked about that. New crypto asset hits certain market. Don't know what it is. With its non-interactive argument of knowledge decentralized applications, snaps, which enables users to stay in control by verifying a chunk of data. Mina, okay, $9. The project advertises its fixed, minuscule size compared to other blockchains. Is so small the network does not require third-party nodes to run, meaning anyone can quickly connect and verify the chain. Ooh, that means small things, right? That's interesting. Sufficient non-interactive argument of knowledge, decentralized applications. Snaps, which enables users to stay in control by verifying without disclosing its details. Interesting. So I could have encrypted files and there's a certain signature, maybe? Maybe? That's interesting. Watermarks? Verifying certain data? Verifying video marks on other websites? Scraping those websites to see if certain video marks are in your signatures? Maybe! Hey, let's look. In addition, snaps can privately interact with any website and access real-world data for on-chain consumption. Data drive. Oh, data play. Among the crypto's hedge funds investments, it's backed by a hedge fund manager. Okay, so that's interesting. All right, we'll add that. We'll add it. Investors with deep pockets quietly buying this altcoin, according to Coin Bureau. Let's see who they're talking. What did I say? Oh, look, quietly, huh? Wait. Nick. Not on this one. It's not in our main one. Sorry. It's in the high risk one. Yeah, I bought in. Oh, yeah, I bought in. I bought in to go ahead and start earning on that there. Yes, and I'm going to make sure we get on the other side on that there. I want some Theta BTC because I want to double down on Thetas. I want to get as much Theta as I can get my hands on. So, yeah. So yes. We're going to go ahead and bookmark that one too, because that is correct. Theta is an interesting video streaming play. Google just announced new terms for crypto businesses. This is interesting how they handle advertising, what can be advertised with Google, which is good. If you have crypto businesses, educational resources, training, whatever, that might let us fly in under the radar with that and start doing that. Local Bitcoins adds Bitcoin Cash and other cryptocurrencies as payment methods. Local Bitcoins isn't really now an international play than a local play. What this was local Bitcoins was a place where if when you needed Bitcoin before you could just go to an exchange, you had to go to somebody nearby and buy your Bitcoin from a local dealer like you were buying, the Gritchy Green. And that's how you had to get your Bitcoin was from the Gritchy provider. So literally in other nations, that's the only way still for because you can't go to exchange. You have to buy it like this. So when I tell you that when people say that in China, whatever, that they're banning blockchain. I keep saying VPNs and all this. How are they going to really stop you? Well, how do they, again, with companies like this that you can buy things through VPN and say you're from another country but still buy the crypto, you can be an exchange in your country by being able to just virtually buy the coin from wherever you need to virtually buy it from. And then get people shipping that to you via your wallet. So you can actually do online trades as well by finding local Bitcoin traders that'll trade with you through other outlets. So again, this is a good way for countries to get into crypto that are bypassing the rules. Elon Musk may send 5 more altcoins to the moon. Yeah, he's going to understand that the infrastructure play that he wants for his Doge is going to need other things to be able. He's going to need cross chains to get through his scalability issues. And once he utilizes those cross chains, that'll work. And then, of course, we hear Vitalik pumping it with him. So there's something coming with Doge. So again, this is ugly. And if you already jumped in before I even was going to do it, and I'm still sick to my stomach to even think that I have to buy into this crap. But again, this is what I mean by I say crypto don't care. How you feel about crypto. Don't care that I don't like Doge. Don't care that Doge is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. But Doge can change, and that can change sentiment. And it doesn't matter if there's money in it and eyeballs in it looking for usability. Oh, you won't make it usable? Let's cross-chain and make it usable. Oh, I'll help hook it in. So it's one of those things that there's always going to be somebody that's going to make it happen because there's an invested interest and they are going to pay somebody to do it if that's the case. So it's going to happen. If you got in early, good to you, man. Congratulations. Keep putting those out. Maybe they'll keep popping. Just be careful because if the only follow billionaire money. Don't just do it on your own just to do it on your own. Make sure there's enough visible, audible billionaires involved in your coin. This is something that you're never going to see unless it's another coin that's doing something different. Rise in artificial currencies could threaten stability of financial systems, says the central bank. Alternative mining algorithms reap higher. Yes. So everybody's moving to other coins. Why? We're going into the Internet of Things. If a Raspberry Pi is $70-something and I can make money with my existing internet and a Raspberry Pi, am I going to do the mining with Ethereum and all these other things that I can't get my hands on? Or can I just go online and buy a Raspberry Pi? Mad cheap. Mad cheap, man. Shaboing boing. Let's move on. Biden administration reveals push to expand crypto tracking and analysis combat ransomware. Okay, guys, people, this is my thought process. I'm a former ethical system hacker. That's why I also got hired at the bank, because I could ethically hammer systems with robots. Do you think that your closed walled garden software will be able to keep up with open source, peer reviewed, internationally, basically bounty hunt hacking, going internationally to try to break it, systems that are paid for by people who are investing in it while it was pennies, and now it's big, and they're keep on going, developing great apps that can build on top of its platform and making it a marketplace, so that everybody now builds their app on this marketplace that now can then connect to like Android, and now you have a marketplace within the Android marketplace. Or we can bypass all of the marketplaces because you can install the app right on your damn phone. Or we can bypass all that when, you can just download your phone and build it yourself from your own parts in the future. It'll just be a small screen, small board, whatever the operating system is, whatever cameras you wanted to stick in there because of what kind of shots you wanted. It's going to get there. Because what else can they do at this point? The boards are getting so small that the shells are not even going to matter anymore. The radios in there are going to get so tiny that what they emit aren't even going to be as poisonous as they are now. And the choice of you staying into the systems that they give you or migrating off is just waiting on who's going to be the next hotshot programmer to get it all to work. And you just being patient and investing in the architecture that'll make it run. Because you now kind of have choice. And that's the blessing from technology. That when you see a closed garden closing up, like the whole old internet is now closing up. Okay, well, at one point in time, how you were an energy company or how you handled the oil was damn near a free-for-all. And then restrictions and regulations came in, and then you made pivots. Now we got the same damn thing happening again. We're making those damn pivots again. Business-wise, we're in a digital economy now. Stop acting analog in a digital world. This is now a digital world. We got to get rid of all the analog. The way businesses are. You don't make brick and mortars no more. Websites are dead. Communities win. So just work inside a community till you build one, or one is born from you. Hence, watching what MG is doing. I don't even think he gets what he's doing and the strength of it. But at the same time, we all have to take our responsibility if we're willing to share the content. My responsibility is this. I've been in this industry a long time. I told my friends in 1999, I'm not going back to the studios in New York anymore because I don't think that the music industry is going to survive the way it is. I think that studios are going in the house. I said that way before Fruity Loops that became FL Studio. Back when it was still Cakewalk. And I was like, and this thing called Pro Tools was starting to be used in the studios, and I had just figured out that I could get my own studio in my house by upgrading the computer I did for graphics to just putting in just one sound card that had this new thing called 44.1 CD quality. And then wait, I could get CDs, and all I needed to do to press out CDs was get a CD burner and put that in my same damn computer. And now if I put 2 CD burners in there, it all of it became a duplication machine. See, we don't look at tech. Y'all have a phone. In that phone is an app store, and in that app store is FL Studio. What I didn't have years ago, y'all have a freaking beat machine sitting right there on your damn phone. We were using MTV Generator, right? PlayStation? To make beats. To try to submit them to like the Jay-Z's and stuff. I had an MPC XL that I built out, made beats on it, ended up getting it pawned. by a cretin who couldn't understand technology and how to make money with tech, would rather just try to flip it and left it there and want to tell me somebody stole it. And then I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter, bruh. Why? Why didn't it matter? Because I could build a computer, buy a MIDI control pad, and I had my MPC all over again. But now I had VSTs. My MPC didn't have that. Loved Reason, but my Reason didn't have VSTs. I had to keep being sound designer. That wasn't going to work out because I wanted all these other sounds that were free. The only reason I left FL Studio for Studio One was because I got into recording audio. I got into making albums, and albums make better on Studio One. Still to this day, sorry. I know everybody's done left and gone back to FL Studio, but that's just great for guys making just the beats and the music and the instrumentals. That's great. And it's great making the audio too. But when I can just patch my whole thing in a click and just keep moving and have all my effects on like just the ease of use of how I can get my effects where I need, and soon how I can automate all that with my automation systems, where I'm going to be able to kind of like, I want to build a robot system that can kind of do the Trey Songz, how Trey Songz gets his, not Trey Songz, but what's his name? Tory Lanez effect, right? How his engineer works with how he records. Well, I was like, yo, there's a methodology to that. So I started working on my own methodology, and could I do that with AI? Giving verbal cues to what I wanted, and could AI kind of work with me so that I could stay in my head and kind of beatbox out on music, and then I can go back and get, because now it gets out of my head faster. I can hum it, I can sing it, I can come up with the hook, and then I could sit down with that energy that I just mapped out, a whole song full of the energy, and I got it out. Now I can slow down and kind of figure out the instrumentation to it, but I don't lose the energy. And I'm going to make that into a workflow. That's going to be a class. And then everybody that's like me, that has music in their head that they just need to get out faster, can work that methodology, and maybe we get better music. Because maybe it's not the fact that you don't know how to, I don't know how to play music. I play in my head. I hear music in my head. I hear thousands of instruments in my head, but I can't get them out fast enough. But I can hum, I can beatbox. Now I'm figuring out the methodology, visualization techniques of how I'm going to work my recording strategy as I build out my AI, but I need data. Whoa, I'm focusing there. My robots need data. I need to be able to query some information. I need it to be stored. I need it to be available to any machine, anywhere at any time, because I want to be able to spin up my work anywhere at any time. I want to be able to know that people are, that I'm working with, that we're licensed together and all of our stuff is tied together so that you're paid regardless if I'm breathing or not. And that my future music, the ideas I had that I then put on the blockchain, just the ideas can be spun into new songs. And in the future, my future's kids can still be eating off of an idea. Because I come up with thousands of beats and ideas all the time. And if I have a way to just keep putting them back later and then start building on them, but the prototype from the beat started with a methodology of a hum and a this and a that I could structure this energy of a song, and then somebody could take it and go because they know how I work and they understand what they're probably hearing and they think like me and they can build those songs faster. I have scalability for how I can do my albums now. I told you what I'm doing is selfless and selfish. If I can speed up the process of how I make music, teach it so that it's a methodology that's scalable, not just to myself, but multiple people, and now those multiple people are all functioning with the same methodology, and it's a methodology that at today is going to make money, then what's the problem? I don't need to lock it behind paywalls. My investment is, if I can invest in the time to help y'all grow and y'all make this cash with me right the hell now, then what is the problem? Let's go. And as MG says, what we can do is cash out, right? We ain't got to stay in a cryptocurrency forever. This ain't piggyback that ish forever, but The fiats ain't going nowhere. And I can cash out to US dollar coin. It ain't going nowhere. It's a stable coin that has plenty of funding behind it to maintain its solvency. And they'll come up with ways to keep making money on top of the money that they're making. They'll do stupid things and make whatever. They'll get into their mathematical equation formulas and all that crap. They're doing it now. I want practicality. Right? How do we make money tomorrow? How do we start making money today? Like, look, like when I show you this right here, right? When I show you we can do I do a class. I throw $100, $1,000 at this situation, right? Now, let's say I saved money. I told y'all, save your money, get your money set, like figure out like how you spend money, put an app on your phone, be able to see how you're spending, find out where your pockets have holes, patch those pocket holes. Now you have investment capital, put that into the software. If it's $120, right? Even at $120 for this, get yourself up to at least $1,000 and then begin to let it grow. And even if it takes years to grow, then begin to get your capital. If you're in music, begin to get your capital built into the other things, right? Get on right now, CD Baby, because they got YouTube streams. And if you're new, you got a new account, they might get you into TikTok faster than they get me into TikTok because everybody else seems to be getting there faster than me. But I also don't put up enough music for them to care about my account. But that's going to change in a minute. And then where I put my new music that's scaling out, well, I want a company, and I'm talking to every single cryptocurrency company out there or developer out there right now. These people are out here being cute, not realizing that decentralized autonomous organizations or DAOs are the new corporations, that we need software delivered. That software has business use case. We are looking for storage. We are looking for signatures on our data. Like, how do we know that if our music is being used in other places, can we flag these guys and let them know, hey, we see you out here in these streets with our music. YouTubes, all you others. And I'm not saying cease and desist. I'm saying you better flip us some cash. Stop playing cute. Pay us like you owe us. But that might also be how come you also have to have a partnership deal with other physical companies out here doing that. Now, I'm not saying that they are the only play in the game, because there are plays out there that I'm watching. BeatStars happens to be one of them that happens to be a new digital thing, right? But again, I don't hedge my bet for anybody that's been in the old industry helping me. They're creating their own walled gardens. And I'm not trying to build a walled garden. Like Toxic Hustle, I really don't want it to be a walled garden. I really want it to be a marketplace of marketplaces. That's where it's headed to. That's why I haven't done my presentation, because what I thought it was going to be was before I started researching this tech deeper, getting a deeper understanding of the underlying blockchain technology and what's offering this season. What are the offerings from this season? Like, hey, before I just say buy this coin, wait. From when you were here, this season you're now doing this, and in this season you're getting ready to do what? And I'm going to be able to use that in my business. How? Oh, wait. I know all this new news coming. Yeah, I got you. I see you. I see you. But these guys were here last season, and they're ready this season for me to start making money in this capacity today. So NFTs is a beautiful idea. It's completely oversaturated and overblown. Hooray. We are getting that stock market blowout early. We ballooned into this big ass price thing. It's crashing. Great. All right, now let's find practical business models that can piggyback off of this idea. let's think about storage, right? Because that's what these quote unquote NFTs need. Because if it's nothing more than video, audio, and pictures, imagery, audio, pictures, animation, code, animatable code in the future to get your videos down, so that now instead of just rendering actual images, you're render or a video, hard-coded video, big bloated video, I can actually code animatable sprites or bite-sized rendered data with some graphics, but it's more like skins and themes, like when you can encapsulate 3D virtual environments as NFTs. Like, whoa, on the fly. Imagine that, right? Imagine that you could encapsulate an entire, what if you could virtualize a virtual world in a virtual world? That's a thought. Almost like how, if you think about the Matrix movie, right? How when he was talking to Neo and he was showing him that little white room, that was a virtualization of the world. When he had them in the street scene, right? And he's walking back and forth in that street scene, and the ladies in the red dress, that is a virtualization, right? It was a virtualization. It was their enclosed environment being able to perform like the main one that you could hook into or jack into or hack into to be a part of the matrix, the main zone. So we've got to think that these ideas were just the virtualization of what the reality of the true dream that's coming. Virtual worlds inside of virtual worlds inside of virtual worlds. So you could have a virtual world engine that could spawn any type of virtual environment you want to host. So you could have a server that you're logging into, and that server has a virtual world that's basically an MMO game doing stuff that's in Night Realm, right? Like the Knights of the Round Table type thing, like the Crusades type beats, right? Or you could sit there and have another one that's like the post-apocalyptic 2021 star future space cars. Earth is no longer Earth, but the multiverse, whatever type thing, and everybody needs to be hackers. Or you could have Grand Theft Auto built inside this virtual world, no longer needing to be like Grand Theft Auto, like you're just making more scenes, cars, and making more events, virtual events, which is what you see with what's going on with the actual Grand Theft Auto. If you look at Grand Theft Auto Online, that's exactly it. You can go into still a virtual version of all these old worlds. And soon that will be on the blockchain. And soon multiple smaller machines will be being the engine that allows you to play that, so that you can play these big 3D games on something as small as a tablet with barely any memory and space. 16 gigs will probably be the last thing we probably do. Maybe 32 tablets, maybe. Or maybe we just cloud it all out and virtualize everything. The entire operating system gets virtualized. Virtual OSs. And now you have a virtual OS sitting on a virtual machine in a blockchain infinite data store. These are the hustles of our future. At the core of this blockchain is data. And at the core of Facebook is data. At the core of Facebook's infrastructure, the purchase it made in its artificial intelligence and virtual reality and all this is data. They are a data business. Twitter is a data business. Google is a data business. You are a data business. Are your assets increasing or decreasing? Are you gaining interest or not? And interest can be percentages on the revenue that you have making from your assets and or your media that you create, and or Interest is how many people are actually listening to you in the multiple places that you have music. How are people introduced to you? It doesn't have to be radio anymore. If somebody finds you in one of their games, and that's what I see too. If you look at YouTube and look at certain music videos and you see, hey, this game brought me here. Hey, I was watching this show and I saw this title was there. Hey, it brought me here. This game brought me here. This virtual world brought me here. This MMO brought me here. This mobile game brought me here. Well, in a minute, when we decentralize game development and these virtual engines like Unreal become the platforms for how games get released, and how you earn is who's investing in the development of your game, done deal. Not only can I be a developer, I can also make sure the in-game assets are dope by creating shops in the game in real time, buying land and real estate. So when somebody's in the game and their neighborhood is growing, it's not the fact that the neighborhood is growing, whatever. It's the fact that, investors are starting to invest in his neighborhood for real. So in his game life, he sees a clothing store and he gets an alert in game. So I'm going back to Grand Theft Auto right now. And this is a real time thing. And I'm thinking Grand Theft Auto, and what if I played it as a kid, right, or as a teenager right now, right when it was like, you must be 18 and older to play this game because it's graphic violence, right? And then I can download this game and it happens to be a blockchain game. And now, as I'm playing the game, I'm just virtually showing you how the game could be different. I'm showing you that now, when you're playing the game, these scenes that you were seeing for your neighborhood were just some pre-programmed things. So if nobody wanted to invest in your neighborhood, or if violence got really bad in your neighborhood and the businesses couldn't keep the crime down, and you and the people in the neighborhood wanted it to just maintain the way it is, they would create these events to be able to make the area stay the way it is. And they could determine that server needed to be that way. It's almost like a hacking group, right? That a group could try to come in, but if you had a program or an AI, appreciate it, Tim, appreciate it. If we had an AI be able to do that and be able to control that, then that'll be the way that the game could be monitored. But that's your contracts, right? To make sure that nobody would come in and try to usurp the environment unless that was pre-programmed and part of the environment and part of the lulls to being in business there. Is that for a little while, your shop might be the hot shop to be until you start really trying to do too much on the game, and then the game dynamics is the game turns on you and gets you out of Dodge because you ain't trying to fit in. You're trying to change what this server is, and this server happens to be, Grand Theft Auto. We want the neighborhood a certain way type beats. But now your music could be playing in the clubs inside that virtual world. And how the club owner gets music for the DJ to play. The DJ who plays in world has to get his music not from just streaming it from his live DJ set. No, because the game mechanics are, no, all music comes from this music library because we make sure, because the game engine is built off of this. The entire premise is that every piece of content that is placed inside the game engine is what's used inside any game, inside any world created inside the engine. And this engine could be a VR engine because it's just whether or not you're in goggles and how the controller is. This could be an AR or augmented reality engine, right? So as that's your Pokemon. So you could have whatever your games are, music you want to play for those, like Pokemon-esque type things. And then you can have your Grand Theft Auto built worlds. Then you could have your Halo type worlds. Then you see what I'm saying? You could have your Space Star Fox. You could have your Mario worlds, where the Mario world is not linear. It's like this infinite scroll type world. But in 3D, I don't know. There's like a million things that you could end up trying to do in different worlds or different games based off game engines. Like you could even have worlds that look like 2D game worlds. Because the engine is the engine is the engine, and it doesn't care that you want 3D. That this world is that you get to play the entire engine as if it's like like the old game emulators, and it's called like Emulator World. So the whole world is like an emulator engine. So now you can play the world like Zelda, and the whole world is Zelda, or the whole world is the old style Street Fighter, but a sideways scroller, infinite scroll. And everybody can build levels. And you can choose which world you want to battle in, right? And we can create those, or 3D worlds, like what if you create Tekken worlds, right? Because that's still 3D engines. And what if you create Tekken boards? And create Tekken characters. And Tekken combos. Like, there's marketplaces, and you don't have to deal with just the combos that came standard. Now your player can have like these infinite combos. And if you use other people's combos, they may not work, but if you could chain those combos certain ways that will match your body style, like, and you can do, like, do you see how crazy gaming will be? And how many people will be working in world, making money just developing things for games? For fun. Like, I don't think we overlook when you have engines that are just marketplaces. When you have marketplaces, you won't know where the play begins and the business ends. Or both, where fun and business, you won't know where there's a line drawn between them. It'll be so blurred. And I realized that in Second Life. I was having so much fun because one, I knew I was making at least $500, and I was like, yo, if it can scale, and I have now a business plan to scale, because I was virtually scaling my business by having these virtual vending machines that I could sell in world, and then anybody could sell my clothes and spin up stores. So rather than me spinning up stores, I sold enough products to fill up a store, and now you could use part of my products in any store you wanted with your products. So you could get your store up faster, leveraging my store, and then you getting a commission. That I give you a commission of every sale from everything that comes from the vendors. And I just made sure it was so hassle-free that it just keep making money. To this day, I could log in sometimes, and some of my old-ass vendors were still working. In old world, still working, hassle-free. And I can still cash out money, which is crazy. To PayPal, still, to this day, they're little residual money makers. I don't make a lot anymore because that whole world has died and they haven't virtualized into decentralization. But, yo, they are in position. Even Second Life could be in position to really grow their business model if they change their engine to a decentralized model. I don't know if they'll ever do it. I think that they've missed the mark. But I think if somebody pivots off their back and Unreal and actually Unreal and Unity 3D are in position. They're in the hottest and closest position to be able to do so. All right, so let me just keep moving because I got to shut down soon. Jack Dorsey is all in on Bitcoin. Yes, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and others. I do want to take a look at this later and see what he's talking about. Is Bitcoin coming to Grand Theft Auto? Oh, what did we just talk about? Oh, what did I just say? And I'm not trying. Plus, I'm sure the AI knows what I want and what I'm looking at. It's the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight damn line or quantum entanglement. That is the shortest distance between 2 points. Right now, that makes the best sense for any business. Get yourself decentralized. Get your entire server rendered out by other people. At this point, to not do so is the dumbest thing in the world. To just give your stuff to any of these, the big three, To give your stuff to the big three in the next 5 years will cause you to be out of business. The big three is AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure. To give your infrastructure, your storage, your bandwidth, how you build an app, to give it to them and keep paying that money is stupid. All right? So we're going to keep moving because I got to go. Jack Dorsey says Square's considering Bitcoin hardware wallet. Of course. One of the things I've learned is the wallet is the application. So the data, which is a database, is going to be put out there. Hold on, let me just... Hold on, y'all. Because if I don't tell my girl, okay, thank you, because she don't listen to my show, I will be there at 1:15. I'm recording. If I don't tell my girl, she gonna keep going. Though she know she could just listen to my show and see I'm still recording. But my girl don't watch my show. All right, so yes, the wallet is the app. And I didn't get that. Because what is the data? Is the data that's coming into the wallet. Like, so if I have a Bitcoin wallet, I'm download the Bitcoin blockchain, and now I have that chain on my device. Now all of that data on that chain is in my wallet. I could just build more screens in that wallet, and I have an app. Because it is already the app. So yeah, Twitter, Dorsey, yeah, because you build a wallet, you're going to build the infrastructure for the new social Twitter, the new media streaming Twitter. I see your play, Jack. Well played, sir. I'm going to keep an eye on you. Forget Elon. Here's why Bitcoin traders should be watching the US dollar index instead. Whether or not we're dealing with inflation or not, just concentrate on the fact that your asset is scarce. You know the math. 21 million Bitcoin, 18.5 million has been minted, 6 million have been lost potentially in wallets. We'll never be able to get them out. The last Bitcoin is mined in 2140, which is about 118, 119 years away from now. That Bitcoin is only mined about 900 coins a day. You've got people spending millions, if not billions, at a swath. The minute Bitcoin hits certain levels, people are buying it up. So, yeah, if you just hold Bitcoin, you're going to beat inflation because Bitcoin's going to outride and scale and gain more than the US dollar because the dollar is still the dollar, still the dollar. Your money is still not earning anything. It's not going to ever appreciate in value. So you will always be better holding Bitcoin. If you had put $1,000 in Bitcoin back in 2017, how much money would you have had? If you kept $1,000 in your bank account at 2017, how much would you have? There you go. If you hold Bitcoin, that same 1,000 for another 5 years, how much more would that 1,000 be? If you hold it in that same interest account for another 5 years, how much will your dollar be? I don't care how we feel about it. As a fund or money manager, and I manage my own money, so I'm my own fund manager, do I leave my money in depreciating assets? Because is the amount that I'm spending on food and entertainment increasing? Do I have to pay more for chicken? Do I have to pay more for milk? Do I have to pay more for eggs? Do I have to pay more for vegetables if I just want to be vegan? Right? Do I have to pay more for those things? If I do have to pay more for those things, then am I going to be, is my 1,000 still worth 1,000? Are you hedged on something that, I'm not telling you to put 1,000% of your money in Bitcoin. I'm saying, do you at least have 10% visibility in an asset that's probably going to net you out of that 10% more than any other asset you have, unless you have a lot of incoming residual income from passive streams of income, namely around 7 streams of income. If you have 7 streams, then all right, by all means, please don't even think about crypto. Keep doing what you're doing. As long as those streams will continue to compound on you while you're in your retirement ages, especially when you need to deal with nurses 24/7 and how much that costs and how much you live for those years, like how many times, how long you're going to be living. That's going to be determining how much you need for your retirement. Right now it's about $1 million. 24-hour healthcare. That's what you need to think about. Right? Moving on, because like I said, I got to go soon. The new crypto projects are genuine threat to Ethereum. A lot of projects. Ethereum is a threat to Ethereum. Like not getting done in time. Grand Theft Auto rumored to have a in-game version of Bitcoin. Okay, well, maybe you have some in-game version of your own cryptocurrency. Like, why not have a, whatever your company name is, coin? And then we can go ahead and spend on the games we actually want to support. We tracked down the original Bitcoin Lambo guy. Doesn't matter. Is the stage set for a Bitcoin comeback this year? We already know. I'm not even going to like that crap because that's just speculative bull-ass. And top analyst says Cardano eager for new yearly high. We already know that we are looking for Cardano at 10 like Ethereum was in its first cycle. And we are done for today. All right. I'm going to get ready to get the heck up out of here. Like I said, we're looking for Bitcoin to be weak for a while. We don't have any major news that's telling us anything of any real importance. Be sure that you're ready to buy any dips that you see that you feel good for your portfolio, because I'm not giving you any damn financial advice. I'm just saying, if you think Bitcoin is at a, if you think it's at a price point that seemingly seems like a sale, I don't know why you'd be missing a sale on something that, if I look here and see the halvening, where we are with the halvening cycle, and I see how far it took before that halvening cycle for the last time this happened, and you have people that been here a couple seasons saying the same thing, like we've seen this before. June, July, we know by the calendar alone, by the rumor, sell the news. The news is coming in all summer. We have it here at Coin Market Calendar. All right. We have, DAOs getting ready to run. We have everything we need to keep growing. So I'm going to get ready to roll up out of here, folks. I respect you. I thank you for your time. I thank you for spending time with me. I will be on potentially later this evening to actually do the robot trading live. This way I can at least do that and keep that separate. All right. Y'all be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.